We are very, very pleased to be here this evening. I remember in 1984, on December the 1st, there was a demonstration outside of the South African Embassy to the United Nations. A number of the demonstrators were arrested as they protested apartheid, and one of them said that it's time that this government represents itself as a voice for freedom among all nations and within its own nation. The person that uttered those words is my father, Basil A. Paterson, former Secretary of State of New York. He enunciated the values that I feel that I was bred with as I grew up, my brother and I, that he and my mother gave to us, which we think are the values of the succeeding generations that are actually fulfilling the promise that was promised so many of us in the founding Constitution of the United States and in the Declaration of Independence, but seems to be being delivered intermittently and rather slowly over the past 225 years. And so, as we still try to fight to make the words of our foreparents who wrote those documents real, we recognize that there have been rather significant and rather intervening obstacles. When I was 10 years old, I saw the vicious beating of 600 people on the Edmund Pettus Bridge right outside Selma, Alabama. Unfortunately, my daughter, when she was 10 years old, saw the film clips of a gay man who was beaten with the barrel of a gun and left on a fence to die in Laramie, Wyoming. And so what we hope is that the next generation only knows of these tragedies by reading about them in history books, because there'll be no such bias and hateful incidents that we'll have to record at that time. But if we're able to get past the violence, we're going to have to deal with the issues of legal inequality that are experienced by lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people right here in New York State every day. There are too many lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people who have partners in hospitals where they can make no decision in terms of their medical care and cannot even take a leave of absence from work to care for them. That cannot be allowed to happen anymore. There are too many individuals who lose their homes because the property belonged to their significant other who died, and because there's no transference of rights, they lose the opportunity to live where they spent their life in happiness with that other person. That cannot be allowed to happen anymore again. There are too many students who are hoodwinked and cajoled and at times even become victims of violence for who they are and then drop out of school because they don't think it's safe enough to go there. That cannot be allowed to happen again. And these are the values that we try to bring to New York State. And these are the ones that I have tried to champion. As Jeff said, when I was lieutenant governor, we thought it was very important to pass the Marriage Equality Act in the Assembly. And so I left my role as acting president of the Senate, so there was nothing going on over there that was interesting, and came over to join the debate, and we won that 85 to 61 on June 17, 2007. And I am most pleased that a number of African American and Hispanic legislators who at first were unable to see the congruent connection between the rights of lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people and our own struggles waged throughout the centuries were able to see it that night and voted for that legislation. But all 85 of those members who voted for that piece of legislation sent a message around this state that we don't know what time it will be that the Senate will address this issue. But when it does, it will be the tremendous ability that they had to stand up and go forward on that night back in June of 2007 that will be the reason that we'll celebrate marriage equality in this state, hopefully as soon as possible. When Jeff referred to the Sexual Orientation Non-Discrimination Act, it actually occurred on my first day as a Democratic Senate leader. And I am proud to tell you, I never had a better one since. We were able to pass that legislation 35 to 25 in the New York State Senate on December 17, 2002.